Good day to you, my listener, and welcome to my YouTube channel, which is on online logic and critical thinking. If this is your first time on this channel, please like, share, and subscribe for more updates from me. Okay, let me quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Ilemubayo Omogwa, and I'm a graduate of philosophy. I hold a BA, MA, and currently a PhD researcher in philosophy. Without taking much of your time, I will be taking you down the road on logic and critical thinking. Well, over the time, I've come to see students, especially in philosophy, being scared of logic. While some find it very difficult to understand or comprehend, some are already of the opinion that they can never know it since it involves having to solve it like mathematics. Well, I'm here to give you the good news that there is nothing difficult about logic. Logic can only be difficult if you don't know its guiding principles, rules, and its basic concepts. I'm also going to be guiding you through the steps toward understanding logic, so please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for further updates. If there is anything you don't understand about my lessons here, please use the comment box below. I'll be shedding more light on them in my subsequent episodes. Thank you. So let's get it started. What is logic? And what is its relationship with philosophy? Well, for someone who is new to logic and philosophy, it is important to establish this background very quickly for proper understanding of their relationship. Etymologically, by that I mean from its original meaning. The term philosophy is derived from two Greek words, namely philo and sophia. While philo means love, sophia means wisdom, and thus philosophy is defined etymologically as the love of wisdom. This could literally mean the desire to know, the desire to find the truth, the desire or the zeal for wisdom. However, philosophy as a discipline has some major branches of its study. Arguably, there are 5 traditional branches of philosophy and several other branches labeled applied branches of philosophy. These traditional branches of philosophy are in no particular order: logic, metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, and aesthetics. Metaphysics is arguably to be the study of ultimate reality. Epistemology, on the other hand, is the study of knowledge, what we know, how we know, and the justification for what we know. Ethics is the study of our moral conduct and values, what is good or bad, what we ought to do, and what we ought not to do. Aesthetics is the study of art and beauty. Logic, however, is the science of reasoning. It is that branch of philosophy that seeks to organize reasoning. It is the examination of the principles and methods used to separate correct reasoning from incorrect reasoning. And that is our major concern in this channel. Logic as we know it is from the Greek word logos, which has a variety of meanings, including word, thought, idea, argument, account, reason, or principle. It is also regarded as the study of the principles and criteria of valid inference and demonstration. Just like we earlier said, it attempts to distinguish good reasoning from bad reasoning. One of the greatest philosophers of all time, Aristotle, defined logic as a new and necessary reasoning. New because it allows us to learn what we do not know, and necessary because its conclusions are inescapable. The questions logic asks, however, are: what is correct reasoning? What distinguishes it from a good argument? And what distinguishes a good argument from a bad one? How can we detect a fallacy in reasoning? These and many more questions are the concerns of logic. At this point, we may ask, why is logic important, and what is its connection with critical thinking? Well, studying logic helps us to develop critical thinking skills. In other words, critical thinking is a logical skill. And also, studying logic involves learning the skills of critical thinking, like I said. It helps us to analyze sound reasoning through studying arguments, syllogisms, and fallacies. You will develop a sort of truth compass. In other words, you'll be able to apply these reasoning skills to recognize truth from falsehood, whether that's in an advertisement, a political campaign, a persuasive speech, a news article, or a social media post. These same critical thinking skills practiced in logic can also be applied to sound decision making, a skill every parent wants their child to develop. Finally, it is important to study logic to become an effective communicator. After all, logic is also the backbone necessary for crafting compelling arguments in speech and writing that points others towards the truth. So, what are the basic logical concepts? In discussing these basics, we are gradually getting ourselves acquainted with logic. By so doing, we need to pay closer attention to these basic concepts and their usages. We begin by examining more closely the most fundamental concepts in the study of logic. In reasoning, we construct and evaluate arguments. Arguments, on the other hand, are built with propositions. Although these concepts are apparently simple, they require careful analysis. Just one more reminder, learning logic is like going through the cycle of life. We must crawl before we can walk. This implies that we must take it one step at a time and avoid jumping the steps. A step missed might just be the missing link to our understanding of logic. For our take home, let's briefly discuss what propositions are and what arguments are. Propositions are the building blocks of our reasoning. A proposition asserts that something is the case, and it asserts that something is not. We may affirm a proposition or deny it, but every proposition either asserts what really is the case or it asserts something that is not. Therefore, every proposition is either true or false. Emphasis on true or false. Arguments, on the other hand, with propositions as building blocks, we construct arguments. In any argument, we affirm one proposition on the basis of some other propositions. In doing this, an inference is drawn. Inference is a process that may tie together a cluster of propositions. Some inferences are warranted or correct, others are not. The logician analyzes these clusters, examining the propositions with which the process begins and with which it ends, as well as the relationship among these propositions. We shall dig deeper into these basic concepts as we proceed in our next episode. Thank you for being with us thus far, and I hope you have learned something new. Please watch out for our next episode as we're going to be discussing in details the basic logical concepts. We shall dwell more on the concept of propositions and arguments, recognizing arguments, arguments and explanations, deductive and inductive arguments, and lastly, validity and truth of an argument. Thank you once again for watching. For more episodes and interesting updates, please like, share, and subscribe below. See you next time.